Welcome, Exiles, to a video that I think is going to blow your mind. It blew my mind when I realized what was happening here. And we have all been sleeping on Dissolution of Flesh, because in my opinion, this might just be one of the strongest EHP devices, defensive, tankiness, one-shot protection there is in the entire game. And I'm going to try to explain why that is, but first, I want to give you a little bit of a showcase of something, and see if you can catch it. Pick up on what is happening and why it is strong before I even tell you. So, I'm going to let these zombies hit me a couple times. Pay attention to what's happening here. What's that, Lance? Alright. You see these zombies? They're hitting me. You see our life's going down up here, and we're getting the petrified blood effect here. If they miss me a couple times or whatever, we go back to full. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so that's the showcase I wanted to show you. Basically, I was on a mad theory crafting binge with my friend Theros, and that's when we, for whatever reason, we tried out Dissolution of Flesh with petrified blood, and we realized how insanely strong this is. Let me go over why this is strong. Why this is strong. Okay, so what is happening when we have petrified blood is, Dissolution of Flesh says, life that would be lost by taking damage is instead reserved. So, we have this beautiful combination with petrified blood, where if we take damage, we are actually taking damage as if we are on like a full HP pool. So we have damage that's being removed up here, and then with petrified blood, 40% of that damage is actually being basically degened on us, and it's not counted as taking damage from Dissolution of the Flesh, so we can actually regenerate that life and counterbalance it. Why this is strong? Well, I did a paint diagram to try to break down what's strong about this. Prepare your eyes, it's going to be a white background, so if you can't handle a flashbang warning, you know, whatever. This is why it's strong. If we have a 1000 HP build, our one-shot threshold is 1000 HP. If we have a 1000 HP build with petrified blood, that's actually 500 HP times 1.6 for the 60% of the damage that's going through for a one-shot. 40% is becoming delayed damage. So if you have sustain, then this isn't, then the 40% isn't going to matter too much. And then if you have 1000 HP with petrified blood with Dissolution of the Flesh, our one-shot threshold goes all the way to 2080. It literally doubles your one-shot threshold because you get 30% more life and you get 1.6 still as the multiplier because you're taking damage as if you were basically a full life pool, because the damage is based on reserving your life, not on your 50% life that's still basically there, if that makes sense. So this is insane tankiness you can add into your build. Now, it's not perfect. It has some weaknesses, and what are the weaknesses? One, dot damage is a little bit more scary than everything else because you only have the multiplier of Dissolution of Flesh with the 30% more HP. Dot damage is not basically mitigated the same way as hit damages with petrified blood. So dot damage is going to be a little bit scary, and it's a little bit harder to deal with. Say you get hit with a bleed, you have to wait that entire duration of the bleed and then 2 seconds to get your basically life recovered. So if you're building around Dissolution of Flesh, I would highly suggest bleed immunity and ignite immunity, probably some form of either high chaos resistance for mitigation against poison or alright poison immunity. These sort of things, ailments, dots, these are the harder things to avoid. If it's just a dot on the ground, you can just jump to a part of the ground doesn't have a dot on it, and pretty quickly you'll be back to full HP. So those are less of an issue, if that makes sense. And then the real biggest downside of them all is you can't use Righteous Fire if you're using this, because Righteous Fire is a dot that will just basically drain your HP pool down to 0 or reserve all your life very quickly. So unfortunately, we can't use Righteous Fire if we're using Dissolution of Flesh. So that's kind of a big downside. When we're looking at the two, this is you without Dissolution of Flesh. You can see you're twice as large as you without Dissolution of Flesh. And size matters, guys. Size matters. She might tell you it doesn't matter, but it does matter. Just a little side tangent there. So, hopefully I've explained that well about how petrified blood is basically getting doubled in effectiveness with Dissolution of Flesh. And this can lead to some pretty crazy builds. I myself have a pretty exciting build plan for Strength Stacker. I'm just leveling right now. I have, with Dissolution of Flesh on, I have effectively 6k HP, and that's with the level 61 character, and our one-shot threshold is if we need to take basically 12k direct HP hit to get one shot. That sort of thing's insane. That's gonna get it even crazier. You want to be up here, little guy? All right, little guy, you can come up here. Yeah. Sorry about that. I got a phone call from my wife, and you better pick up the phone if your wife calls. That's just a rule of thumb. And then Lance wanted to sit up here with me. So, hopefully I explained that mechanic well of why petrified blood is actually insane, and we've all been... Not petrified blood. Dissolution of flesh is actually insane. Petrified blood enables it to be way, way stronger than I ever thought it would be, because it's basically doubling your HP at that point. So... Man, I am pumped to build around this jewel, because there's a lot of interesting things you can do for how you can scale with it and become really tanky with it, so I'm just kind of excited about those things. I wanted to share with you guys because I think this is really cool, and this opens up a lot of possibilities for how you can build around it. I've been sitting on this for about a week now because I started another character, and then I discovered this midway through that other character for doing the bow build, and it was burning inside me because I really wanted to play with this, and now I'm finally getting to make a build with it, and I'm actually just pumped about it. So anyways, hopefully for those of you who can find a way to fit this Dissolution of Flesh into the build, if you're already running Petrified Blood, it's got some amazing combo potential. The only real downside is you can't build around things like Righteous Fire. You can't build around things like Hybrid EHP, like Inquisitor. So it does have some downsides, but there is some insane upsides. Things like, for example, I'll just give one, Bloodthirst. If you have a build that now has 30% more HP, Bloodthirst in combination with basically things like Paradoxica for a bunch of flat fizz start to become a whole lot, I don't know, sexier as an option, a whole lot stronger. Anyways, take care, Exiles. Thanks for watching the video. Peace out, guys.